Namaste. It's Jacci. We're going to do a little yoga together today. So if you can get what you need for your practice, you might have a mat you can roll out on the floor, and maybe you have a yoga block. If you have something like that, that can be helpful. If you have something you need to pad your knees, a towel or a blanket can be good. So just get what you need to get yourself set up and take a little time for yourself. We'll be together for about the next 30 or 40 minutes, and you can maybe turn off your devices and close the door of the room that you're in and take a little time for yourself. So we're going to start today standing up, and we're going to do a little swinging movement. So once you've got yourself set up, you can step your feet out about shoulder width apart, and we'll let the arms swing. This is called empty coat sleeves. So you can turn your body. You want to turn your neck. You can look at the floor behind you. You're going to turn your shoulders so the arms actually tap your sides or your back. You want to turn your hips, so you might let that back hip rock up off the floor. Just kind of shake off the day. A super nice movement, really good to do in the morning. Just a really nice soothing movement. And then come to step your feet back in. And we're going to take a few stretching breaths, and we're going to start to think about coordinating the movement with the breath. So please inhale your arms up over your head up to the sky and look up. And on your exhale, lower your hands down. And all of this, we're breathing in and out through the nose. So as slowly as you're comfortable, inhale your arms up. Lift your eyes, and then exhale down. Try to hug in your abdomen a little bit on the exhale. And do that again. Inhale up. And exhale down. So what we're going to do as we do it the next time is to let the heels lift up off of the floor as we lift the arms up. We call that moving mountain pose. So on the inhale, as your arms go out to the side and up, just rock the weight into the balls of the feet and let your heels float up. And you may notice that your legs will quiver. And then exhale down and see if you can let your heels touch the floor when your hands touch your legs. So the heels are going to go really slowly down. So again, inhale up with your hands and maybe your eyes, heels lift. And then exhale down, letting the hands touch the sides of your body and the heels touch at the same time. And again, inhale up. We kind of wake up the leg muscles a little bit. So it works the ankles and the feet and the quadriceps a bit. And then exhale down. And it's also challenging for your balance. So this time we're going to stay and see if we can just stay up there for a little bit. So please inhale, lift your arms and your heels. And on your exhale, just lower your heels a little bit. Soften your elbows a little bit. And then inhale, see if you can lengthen back up quite slowly. And again, exhale. And feel the legs. Again, they might be quivering. And inhale, lengthen. And again, exhale. Lower a little, and then inhale up. Let's do one more. Exhale, soften down a little. Inhale, lengthen up a lot. And then everything down until your heels touch the floor. And then take a moment to shake out your feet. Shake out your hands and see how you feel. You may feel that in your legs. You may feel that in your back. Just notice what you feel. And then to stretch out our back after that, we're going to do the chair pose. So in this movement, we bend the knees and sink down. And I'm going to turn to the side so you can see my back. The yoga block, if you have one, doesn't matter if you do, can be a good tool for this. You put the block up in between the legs. So it keeps the joints lined up and firms up the muscles. So if you've got one, that's a good time to try it. So bring your hands to your hips, and when you inhale, lift. You can hug your elbows back. And on the exhale, as the knees bend, we're going to sink the hips back and just slide your hands down your legs here. And you can bend a little or a lot. And then inhale back up to standing and just get as tall as you can. And do that again. Exhale, sink down, pulling in the belly, so a little hug on the block if you're using that. Don't round your back. And then inhale back up to standing. Let's do it again. Exhale, and just warming up the legs. Inhale, and just coordinating the movement with the breathing as smoothly as you can. Let's do one more. Exhale down. And then inhale back up. And then if you did use that block, take it out. And what we're going to do is to try to put together the two movements we just did, the moving mountain and the chair pose. So we're going to start with the chair. So we'll go slow. So exhale, sink down into your chair. Now as you start to rise back up on your inhale, you can start to lift your arms up over your head, and as the legs start to straighten, see if your heels can float up off of the floor, all this quite slowly. And then as your arms start to lower down, you can lower your heels, bend your knees, and sink back into your chair pose and just slide your hands back down your legs. And we'll do that a few times. So inhale, start to rise up, lift your hands up, and as your chest comes up, you can let your heels lift up off the floor. There's that shaking again. And then exhale, belly in. As you sink down, let the hips go back, your heels can touch, and then bow down. Let's try that 2 more times. So inhale, as everything rises up, the arms can lift and heels lift too. And then exhale, slowly down. Okay, one more like that. Inhale, practicing a little balance. And then all the way down to your chair on the exhale, and then we're going to hold in the chair. So stay down, hips back, and see if you can lift your arms. So you could lift them shoulder height. You could do this cactus arm version with the elbows bent, or you can see how it feels to lift your arms all the way up and just hold. Still breathing smoothly. On the exhale, you might kind of sink down a little bit. Inhale. One more exhale. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then please inhale up to standing. And if you like, you can even lift and lean back a little bit and then lower your arms down. And then shake out your feet. Take a moment, see how you feel after that. Maybe a little bit more awake. Okay, so for the next movement, we're going to come down to our hands and knees. So if you'd like to use something to pad your knees, feel free to grab a towel or a blanket. I'm going to use this blanket here. And we're going to come to the tabletop position. So in this position, we'll have the hands underneath the shoulders and the hips over the knees. We're still going to breathe slowly and move slowly. So please inhale and lift your chest and eyes. Exhale, round the back. So pull your belly in. You feel the back round a little bit, and then fold back to child's pose by touching the elbows down, folding back and letting the head bow. And then just inhale back up to all fours and lift your chest and eyes. And again, exhale, navel in to the back rounds. Sink back, fold back. Inhale up. Do that again. Exhale, rounding back. And this time, inhale up to all fours and pause. So make sure your fingers are spread. Your hands could be just slightly wider than the shoulders. Tuck the toes under, and we're going to push up to downward facing dog. So you can start here with a little bend in your knees, pushing down through the hands. You can pedal out your legs. See what you feel. Continue to breathe slowly. And then a few times we're going to go up and down between our tabletop position and our dog pose. So please inhale, slowly lower your knees down to the floor, lift your chest and eyes. Begin your exhale by pulling in your belly and then push up to dog pose slowly. And then inhale down. So go as slowly as you are comfortable. You're welcome to be breathing faster or slower than what I'm doing. Exhale, belly in, push up. Inhale to the knees, lift the chest and eyes. Exhale, belly in, push up. Inhale to your knees, lift your chest. And then exhale up, and if you want to hold your pose again, you can stay in down dog again for a few breaths. You're welcome to come down to child's pose at any point, so for that you could put your knees down. And that might be putting your elbows down on the floor or folding back a little more and letting your head rest on your hands or on the floor. Or this is another good thing you could use a yoga block for, is to put your block under your forehead. And just rocking. If you're still holding downward dog, go ahead, come on down to child's pose and take a moment to notice. And then please come up to all fours again. We're going to do a little twisting movement here. So please take your left leg back, left leg, and we're going to put the toes of that foot down on the floor. We're going to work with our upper back. So on the inhale, we're going to take the right arm out to the side and roll it up toward the ceiling, and maybe even watch it as it goes up there. And on your exhale, lower your arm down, lower your eyes down. And do that again. Inhale, let the right arm open up. What are you noticing in this shoulder here? Exhale all the way down. Good. And then inhale, open it up. And hold on the exhale. And on your inhale, just try to reach and open a little bit more. Exhale your right hand down, still keeping the left leg back. Inhale your right arm forward with your eyes looking down. You could hold like this with your arm forward, or you could lift the foot off the floor. And we'll hold for maybe 2 or 3 breaths, depending on how fast you're breathing. When you inhale, try to lengthen a little bit, even if your foot's on the floor. When you exhale, pull your belly in. Maybe one more breath like that. And now exhale your hand and your knee down. Fold back to child's pose, and you may want to give that left wrist a little shake. It's fine. Inhale up to tabletop. Exhale, round back to child's pose. So we get a little symmetry after the twist. Round back one more time. Exhale back. Okay, and then inhale up, and we'll do the movement on the other side. So this time we'll take the right leg back, and I'm just going to turn around so I'll still be facing you. So hands under your shoulders and right leg back. So for the first part, that right foot's going to stay on the floor, but you can try to keep the leg nice and firm. And then on your inhale, left arm out to the side and up toward the ceiling, and maybe you watch your hand. And then exhale all the way down. We're breathing slowly and moving slowly. Inhale, open. Exhale down. Good. So inhale, open, and hold on the exhale. Hold on the inhale. Try to open a little more. One more. Exhale. One more inhale, and then exhale down, and still with that right foot on the floor, take that left arm forward. And then eyes down, hold on the exhale, and you're welcome to hold here, or on your next inhale, lift your foot. When you exhale, pull your belly in. When you inhale, get longer. Exhale, again, maybe 2 breaths, maybe 3 breaths if you're breathing a little faster than me. One more. Inhale. And then please put your hand down and your knee down. Fold back to child's pose, and you're welcome to give the right wrist a little shake. Inhale up to tabletop. Exhale back to child's pose. So please inhale up to tabletop one more time. And we're going to fold back again one more time. And as you go back, move your hands a little further forward and a little bit wider apart. So maybe they're to the edges of your mat. And when you inhale, come up and let your hips shift forward. With the elbows bent, you could lift your eyes. And then exhale back, pulling in your belly. So this is another movement we copy our pets. So you can watch your cats and dogs. See how many times they do this movement. So for this variation of upward dog, we're keeping the knees on the floor. Exhale back. And just seeing how all that feels in your spine, we'll do one more. Inhale, so you don't have to push at all. Again, bending the elbows slightly. exhale back. And then stay in your child's pose, and maybe you rock a little bit, and you can support your forehead with your hands, swaying. Just taking a moment to notice how you feel. And then please come up to your knees, and we're going to stand up on our knees. So we're going to do a low lunge, and for this part, you probably will, it's likely that you'll want to pad your knees. So if you're not already on a kind of a softer mat, or you might pad your knees. So take your right foot forward. So you could bring your hands down and walk your right foot forward, or you could just step it forward from here. And in this movement, we're going to shift the hips forward. So when we go the hips forward, we want that knee to be over the heel, or a little bit behind it, not out over your toes like that. It's not great for your knee. So just inch the foot forward a little bit, and then inhale, come forward. Try to lift your chest here. Exhale, pull back, pull your belly in. Let's do that again. Inhale, just sort of a test bend. How does that feel? And then exhale back. And then we're going to add a movement with the back leg arm, with the left arm. So as you inhale, shift your hips forward and let your left arm lift up, and maybe your eyes also lift up. And on your exhale, come back smoothly, lower your eyes, lower your arm, belly in. And again, inhale. Exhale. So you want to find a range of movement that feels pretty good for your body. So let's do one more like that. Inhale. And exhale. And the next time, we're going to hold it. So inhale, come up into the pose. Hold on your exhale, pull in your belly. Inhale, lengthen more. And you could just hold this, or if you're curious, you could bend that elbow, put it on the back of your head or onto your shoulder, and open up your armpit. And it's possible that you could feel this all the way down into your hip. And then release, so you can pull back, bring your arm down, and just bring yourself to all fours again. So any way you like, you can let that right foot come back and exhale back, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. And then we're going to do that upward dog a couple of times, opening up the hips. So exhale back, inch your hands forward. Inhale up, shift the hips forward, lift your chest and eyes. Any amount, little bend in the elbows. Exhale back, belly in. One more. Inhale forward. Exhale back. And then come up to your knees again, and we're going to switch legs. So this time it'll be left foot forward. Again, I'm just going to turn around, so I'll still be facing you. Or at least you can see my arm. And so left foot forward. You can, however you get it up there is fine. You want that knee pretty much to track right in front of your hip. So as you inhale, come forward. See how that knee is? You want it right over your heel. See how your hips feel. On your exhale, pull back, pull your belly in. Inhale, shift forward, just kind of a test bend. How does that feel? Exhale back, pull your belly in. And this time we're going to add the movement with the right arm. So please inhale forward, lift your right arm up. Exhale back, pull your belly in. So find something that feels good for your hips. Don't push. Feel free to lift your eyes or not. It may challenge your balance a little bit to look up. Again, we're moving slowly and breathing slowly. Inhale. And exhale. And then we're going to hold at the top. So as you inhale up, lift your arm. Just stay on the exhale. So pull your belly in. Don't overarch your back there. Inhale, lift a little more, and if you like on the exhale, you can keep your arm up or bend your elbow and touch the back of your head, or bring your hand to your back and then try to open up. Breathe. Inhale. One more exhale. One more inhale, and then on your exhale, you can come back out of the lunge and bring your hand down, and then once again, make your way back to all fours. Fold back on your exhale to child's pose. Rise up on your inhale to all fours. And then again, go back on the exhale and shift your hands forward a little bit. And a little wider can also be nice. And we'll do the upward dog again. So inhale forward, let your hips shift forward, lift your eyes, bend your elbows a little. Exhale back. And this time we'll do 2 more if it feels okay for your back. So if it doesn't feel great for your back, you can, go a smaller movement or do less repetitions. So if you like, you can do 1 more. And on this one, I'll give you the option to stay there for a moment. So if you come forward a comfortable amount, a little bend in the elbows, and maybe your hips sway gently. And then exhale back to child's pose and stay. And again, you can support your head. Little resting here. So you may like staying in child's pose at this point. That may feel good for you. If you like downward dog, it's a really comfortable, good stretch for you. You could push back up to hands and knees and do a few more breaths in downward dog. But feel free to stay in your child's pose. If you're in downward dog, a nice option is to just let the knees be bent a little bit so that the spine can lengthen. And think about pushing your hands down. All right, and then for the next part, you can inhale down if you're in downward dog. If you can push up if you're in child's pose. And now we're going to roll over onto our back. Okay, so you can come onto your back and maybe you'll move your padding out of the way here. Come on your back. Okay, so we've been doing a little movement in our hips. We're going to do a nice little twisting movement here to continue to stretch and open up the hips. So again, if you have a yoga block, you could put it over on your left side. So once you get onto your back, you can just draw both knees up into your chest and massage your back and rock. You can circle your ankles or circle the wrists or both. These are nice, soothing movements for both the joints and the brain to do joint rotations. And then please lower your feet to the floor one at a time. Rest your hands on your belly and just take a moment to notice how you feel right at them right now. And then please draw your right knee into your chest and give it a hug with your hands. You can hold on behind your leg if that's more comfortable. And stretch your left leg out onto the floor and flex that. You can flex both feet, but particularly the left foot, so the ankle is bent and the toes are pushing up. Take a moment to just rock in your right hip, see what you notice. And what we're going to do is a little twist where we're going to draw this knee over to the side, and we're going to go in and out of the movement a few times, and then we'll hold. So you can begin by stretching your right arm out to the side and just letting your left hand rest on your leg. Inhale in place, and on your exhale, use your belly and your leg to guide the knee over. Try not to pull with your arm. And it may go over just a little bit or a lot. Inhale back to the center. So we're going to do that 2 more times where we go over and back. So belly in, exhale over, even if it's only a small amount. Inhale back up and try to avoid just cranking yourself over with your arm. Again, exhale over using your belly and your leg. Inhale, center. And then the next time we're going to hold the twist. So as you exhale over, you can just find the place where it feels like, okay, that's enough for me. And this is where you could use some support. Maybe you have a pillow, or you could put something under that leg. Another option is to just rest your hand under your leg. And you can, guide it over more if it's comfortable for you, but we also don't want to be straining the right shoulder here. So if your shoulder's like way up off of the floor, you may find that you want to kind of roll back a little bit so you can keep that shoulder comfortable. And some breath. So while you're holding, see if you can take 2 or 3 breaths, again, depending on how fast you're breathing, that are a little bit deeper. Big inhale. You could even sigh on the exhale. Maybe one more. And then roll back onto your back. And if you're comfortable lying flat, just stretch your legs out flat. You may want to scoot your hips and shoulders around, see what you feel. If it's not comfortable for you to lie flat, just bend your knees. That can be really helpful, especially if you have discomfort in your low back. And notice again the two sides. And then please draw the left knee into your chest. And if you had your knees bent, you can stretch the right leg out. And we're going to keep that right leg flexed. And we're going to explore. So you can rock a little in your left hip. And then as we begin, we'll let the left arm stretch out to the side. And the right arm can just rest on your leg. Inhale in place. Exhale, belly, leg, draw over to the right a little bit. And then inhale back to the center. That foot, that straight leg foot, is turning to the side as you twist. So exhale over, even if it's only just a few inches. And inhale center. So one more. Explore. Exhale over a bit. Inhale center, and then the next time we'll hold. So exhale over a comfortable amount. And then maybe you can see my hand on this side. You can support your leg like that with your hand. You could use a block, and the block's kind of cool because it's got different heights. You could go higher or lower, depending on what's good for you. And then some breath, and just paying a little extra attention to the left shoulder here, so we don't want it like just hanging out in space, especially if your shoulder's compromised. And some nice breath. Deep breath into the left chest, and on the exhale you can hug in your belly or even just let out a little sigh. See what you're noticing on this side. So you may be feeling that down in the glutes or in the back, maybe the shoulder. Lots of places where you could feel this. So when you get to your next inhale, please roll back onto your back. And again, if you are comfortable lying flat, you can stretch your legs out flat and scoot things around so you feel even, and just take a breath or two to notice. And if you're not comfortable lying flat, please bend your knees. And then if you didn't already bend your knees, you can bend them now. And line your heels up with your hip bones. And so after our twisting movement, we're going to do a little symmetrical movement, the bridge pose. So bring your hands, palms down by your sides. And as you inhale, lift your hips up off of the floor. And as you exhale, lower down, pull your belly in. And then inhale up. And you're just going slowly with your breath. And it's not really about how high your hips go. Exhale down. It's mainly to get a little work in the back of the legs, in the back of the body, so the hamstrings, glutes, back muscles. Exhale down. So you may enjoy just going up and down with your breath like that, or perhaps you'd like to hold the pose, and you're welcome to do that. On the inhale, you can lift up and hold. And an option for your shoulders, of course, you can keep your hands down by your sides, but some people really enjoy this variation where you lift your arms up over your head as you hold. You can try that if you like. So if you're already feeling like you want to come down, please let the next exhale bring you down. If you want to stay in a little bit longer, you can, or maybe you're just moving up and down with your breath. Well, that's fine. So if you're still up on your next exhale, please lower down. And if your hands are up, try to bring everything down nice and slow. And then you can draw your knees to your chest one more time. And rock. And if you like, you might lift your chest up towards your knees. You could circle your ankles, maybe sway a little bit. Anything to massage or, comforting movement for your back. And then let your feet come down to the floor, and we're going to let the legs rest here. So for many people, having the knees bent is good when you're lying on your back for the back and the hips. having the feet a little wider and the knees touching can often be good. So just see what's good for you. And then rest your hands on your belly and either choose one spot to focus your eyes or close your eyes. And begin to let go of the effort to breathe any particular way, any effort in your body. Just feel the weight of your body supported by the floor. A sigh might help. So for the last part of our practice, we do the relaxation pose, Shavasana. And there's nothing to do except to just let your body rest. So you could rest just like this with your knees bent. For many people, that's comfortable. If you're comfortable stretching your legs out flat, you're welcome to do that too. And you could have your hands resting on your belly, or you may like them by your sides. So just find the most comfortable position for you. So that might be putting some support under your neck, keeping your knees bent, maybe putting a blanket on top of you, whatever's comforting, soothing. And we'll take a couple of sighs just to let go a little bit here. So please inhale. And then breathe out through your mouth. One more. Inhale. And then out through the mouth. And give yourself permission to rest for the next 5 or 10 minutes. And as we settle in for the closing part of the practice, I'll say a little closing prayer. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be at ease. May we all be safe. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. And may we all live with ease. So again, I encourage you to continue to let your body rest for the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a minimum of 12 breaths if it's a little bit challenging for you to lie still. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.